Obamacare is a disaster on top of it all. You get all kinds of fraud going on. You don't have to just worry about the illegals that are here. You got to worry about the people that might have somehow managed to get their citizenship, perhaps in dubious ways, as the president has alleged about one Ilhan Omar. But go out to Minnesota and you're going to see all kinds of other problems with any kind of state-run systems. And you had Mike Johnson explaining this one. Let's lay it out here. It's bad, guys, okay? There is a new government accountability report that is highlighting the massive, insane amounts of fraud in Obamacare. You'll wonder why there's so much inflation in the healthcare sector. It has a lot to do with anything government touch. Government usually ruins, and the fact that there's a ton of fraud on top of it all. I mean, what a mess. Watch.
A new report by the Government Accountability Office, which I haven't seen too much written about yet. You should look into that. It is an eye-opener as well. It makes clear why it would be a dereliction of duty to just extend subsidies without massive reforms to them. Okay, over the last 2 years, this is investigators at the Government Accountability Office. Okay, they submitted 24 fraudulent applications for the ACA subsidies, the Unaffordable Care Act subsidies, Obamacare. Okay, of the 24 fraudulent applications that they created intentionally to just see what would happen, 23 of them were approved.
Whoa!
These applications were completely fraudulent. The investigators did not submit any Social Security numbers, citizenship documentation, or reported income documents. And 23 of the 24 applications were still approved. 18 of those, by the way, are still receiving coverages. They were as of September of this year. That means the Obamacare exchange and insurers didn't verify any of the information they're supposed to under the law, and they proceeded to pay tens of thousands of dollars to insurance companies for people who do not exist.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
The GAO report also found that 29,000 Social Security numbers in 2023 and 68,000 in 2024 were used to receive more than 1 year's worth of insurance coverage. In other words, multiple people were utilizing the same Social Security numbers to openly defraud the American taxpayers. The GAO also found that more than $94 million was sent to insurers on behalf of dead people. Okay, this is the system that Democrats in Congress want to extend without reform. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable, and it's really unacceptable. And when Trump says, this is not going to work and we need to find a better way, he's not kidding. I mean, the reason they hate him so much is because he's the one who's willing to challenge it. I mean, think of the money at stake. Think of the insurance companies that are livid about this. They don't want anything changing, right? It's working out really well for them, and it's working out really well for the fraudsters. I mean, it's working out so well that Jasmine Crockett's hoping some of these people, I guess, contribute to her campaign because she's willing to lobby for them like nobody's business. She's out there saying, well, what's the matter? Just a little bit of fraud. I mean, you got to expect that. No, we don't have to expect that. You expect that in third world countries. You don't expect that in the United States of America, Jazzy.
And I do want to make sure that I cover one other thing that the chairman spoke about. He specifically said that he's concerned about the fraud. He's not giving us numbers, but I can give you some numbers. If we're concerned about how much money it may be costing us because systems are not perfect, we have no perfect systems. We have always had some level of fraud in anything that we have because there's no such thing as perfection walking on this earth.
So who cares, right? I mean, Jazzy's perfectly fine with a little fraud, maybe a lot of fraud. Hey, maybe she benefits from the fraud. I don't know. Maybe Ilhan Omar benefited from the fraud. I don't know. Maybe terror organizations in the Middle East benefited from the fraud. I think I do know. And we're going to get to that because the Treasury Secretary has launched an investigation just last week. And I'm here to tell you, it is very unlikely that they're not going to find some of that money being siphoned off by terror organizations, because that's kind of the way it works with the Hawala system. It's how they transfer money in that community. And there's no way that you didn't have the ISIS arm of Somalia out there with their hand in the piggy bank, which is you and me, okay? U.S. taxpayers. And Jazzy Crockett, who wants to run for Senate in Texas. Good luck with that one. I mean, Mike Johnson's like, yay, he said today, like, I'll take that all day long. Exactly what I've said all along. Jazzy Crockett thinks it's totally fine to just have a little fraud because, you know, it's something that we just have always dealt with. Why not have a little bit more? Unbelievable. This is the same team, by the way, that was trying to cancel half the country, trying to take away your bank account, for goodness sakes. Remember when Janet Yellen wanted to get into everybody's bank account if they had more than $600 worth of transactions? Yeah, that was her shtick. She felt that was the way to find all the billionaires that were averting taxes. You're going to really find a lot of billionaires going looking for nickels and dimes in all those $600 accounts, right? Janet Yellen? Well, under previous administrations, you had vague, outdated policies and pressure from politically motivated regulators, which were leading to a lot of the closures of American bank accounts. I mean, you know, this happened to Devin Nunes. It happened to Eric Trump. Happened to a lot of people I know, actually. It's sort of outrageous. And it's because you had all these regulators that were getting pressure from politicians, Democrat politicians, the likes of, you know, Jazzy Crockett, etc. I don't know if she specifically was involved, but certainly the Elizabeth Warrens of the world, they're there saying, you got to shut them down. You got to shut them down. You got to cut off their access to capital because they supported Donald Trump. Disgusting, okay? Disgusting behavior.